Hello everyone, I am Paul, and this is the Nerds in Super Spidey non-spoilery review of Spider-Man Homecoming. Spider-Man Homecoming is the coming-of-age tale of Peter Parker. Who is he as a superhero? Who is he as a teenager? This is really the main thread throughout the entire movie, is him growing up. He identifies Spider-Man as a big league hero. He identifies himself as the suit that Tony Stark made, that he was worthy to fight Captain America, that he was worthy to Tony Stark. But when all that goes away, he starts to lose his self-worth. He is only focused on becoming an Avenger. He is only focused on being Spider-Man. This is something that they really nail down, this sense of puberty unease, that he's uneasy with himself. He's not quite sure of his powers. He's not quite sure what this suit can do. Tom Holland was fantastic in this movie. By far my favorite Spider-Man. A Spider-Man who is young looking, who is young sounding, and most importantly, has a New York accent. I mean, something that I think everything has missed, including the cartoon from the 90s. None of them really grasp Peter Parker being a New Yorker. If you hear him talk, you would probably think he was from California. But the fact that Tom Holland, a British actor, adopted the super authentic New York accent and carried it throughout the entire movie is really impressive. One of the shining things in this movie is Michael Keaton. His character as a villain is probably one of the best villains that they have done. Michael Keaton is there throughout the entire movie, and you relate to him. You get his plight in life, that rich people have stepped all over him. The government has pushed him down and forced him into a life of crime, to which he's succeeding very well. And this movie really pushes forth the duality of things. The duality and the balance of Peter Parker and Spider-Man, the duality and the separation of villain and family, that ultimately he's like Walter White. He's breaking bad for his family's sake and his family's future, and it's incredibly relatable and even likable. You like Adrian Toomes. And everyone in this movie was great at what they did, some better than others. His friend was a little bit on the awkward side. He was still filling out, I think, his acting chops. He wasn't really quite hitting with everything that he said. All of his jokes were kind of hit and miss, and it kind of threw off a few of the scenes. Ultimately, he did a good job for his first outing. Everybody kind of played their role so well that you don't really think about it. Everything really flows really well throughout the movie. The action was fantastic. The choreography was on point. One of my favorite things throughout this movie was that Spider-Man really wasn't this real kick-ass hero who just swung through the city with complete ease and grace, running up the sides of walls. He was uneasy. He was unsure. He didn't quite know how to do things. My favorite thing that they did in this movie is really the nuances of Spider-Man. Him sitting on a ledge with his mask just up over his mouth eating a sandwich is so classic Spidey, and such a great homage to the source material that it really it blew my mind. Him giving directions to people on the road, chasing down bike thieves and car thieves, really doing the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, leaving little kind notes about, hey, I found this bike, please don't steal it. These are great Spider-Man things, because Spider-Man is a street level hero. He helps out the little guy. He's not always chasing some giant villain with this horrible plot to destroy the city. He is stopping the bank robber from stealing money. He is webbing up the purse thief. He is stopping the mugging, and that's something that they really, really just nailed in this movie. Spider-Man: Homecoming was fantastic. It was really, really great. The tone was great. The shots was great. The CGI was great. This was very much Tom Holland's movie, and even having Happy Hogan and Tony Stark in this movie didn't detract from him, but added to the overall themes of the movie. And ultimately, I think this movie really boils down to doing the right thing. It's not a with great power comes great responsibility thing. It's not a, if you can do something, you're morally obligated to do it. It's a do the right thing. Be a good person. And ultimately, Peter Parker is a really good person. And I think that Spider-Man will add this really great innocence to the Avengers lineup that they desperately need. This how do things look from the street? Everyone needs to go out and see it. This movie for me gets 9 out of 10 thwips. And that is it for the Nerd Zen Super Spidey non-spoilery review of Spider-Man: Homecoming. Join me later on this week for a very spoilery discussion with Kat. And for now, I am saying like, share, and subscribe, and goodbye.